Alex Answer here. It is September 25th, but it'll be the 26th by the time you see this, in the year 2017. Welcoming fall into my reality, getting ready for winter. A winter in which I'll be doing lots and lots of videos, lots and lots of podcasts. Thank you, supporters. Links are down below for people that want to support what it is that I'm doing. I also want to thank Pam for joining OutsideTheBox.vhx.tv, who's also in Colorado. So I've been talking a lot about the archonic influence over not only the alternative media, but also elements of the American. And it sounds right to really, not to limit it to our country, but it sure seems that there is a lot of sabotage energy with regards to intentional communities, spiritual groups. I talked about a particular person in a recent video. I've talked about other people in past videos. It's also important for us to understand, this was the main point, that whatever we focus on to a certain degree increases. There is disinformation and truth regarding principles of law of attraction, but it's not all bunk. We can literally attract our own nightmares and other things that are challenging to us based on how we are relating to certain things in the world. We can actually bring certain things to life that we don't want. So knowing that we have this power and knowing that I have the power to just simply think about certain people and they activate, whether that be a positive thing or a negative thing. Just simply think about someone. And I also receive thoughts to where I may be thinking about a particular person that I haven't thought of in some time, and boom, you know, there's Debbie who subscribed to the YouTube channel. Was it been 4 years, 3 years? So it's like we are very much interconnected, and we're also a very different world than we were a few years ago. Some people have lost their memories. Some people have lost their heart energy, their love energy. Some people have been clouded by spiritual parasites. So right now, we're in a period in which we've seen a lot of intensity. I'm not the only one talking about the craziest stuff going on out there. There's also periods in which we notice how crazy it gets, and then things seem to calm down. If we're public speakers and we're dealing with multiple troll-like people at once, we may notice periods in which it's up, and then periods in which it's down. Periods in which it's up, periods in which it's down. And so I can look at those periods in which it's up on my channel and what else is going on in the world. But comparing this reality of September 2017 compared to last year and compared to last winter, this feels like a better reality. I feel like a stronger human. And so I'm looking at those things that I want to focus on. Of course, books is very, very important. So how much focus are we putting on the real creator? How much focus are we actually putting on our true spirit guides, or where the creator is within, how we are linked in with all of this? How much time do we spend on that? Because once we become aware that we're sensitive to certain things that are going on that are negative, we may even call them psychic attacks. And by the way, our own negative thought forms can manifest as a psychic attack. This is very, very true. Or it could feel like one. Or as we become increasingly sensitive, as I think a lot of humans have become increasingly sensitive, issues like psychic attack become a more regular issue and topic, to a point where there are seminars and lectures and people literally paying, if you will, for conferences to where they break down certain things. Although I will say the arena of psychic protection is fairly specialized. The arena within the American spiritual movement is fairly large. And I think that it would be more beneficial for people to learn about empathy, compassion for all of the creator's creations. And there are many people that are looking for ways around that, ways to view murder as okay, ways to view other sins or immoral actions or ways of life as just simply okay. The creator has no, they will say, or God has no take on the issue. they will continue to say that all that is important is their own personal desires within this lifetime and rising above guilt of being such a low vibrational human. So it's important for people to understand there are people that I believe are demonic, archonic walk-ins that are some of the top speakers in the American spiritual movement. That's not to take away from deceivers in Europe. It seems that America seems to be ground zero for a lot of media disinformation, whether it be spiritual or whether it be alternative media. And with regards to that particular cult leader that is female, that says that she is an Octarian who has some positive views of Hitler. With regards to that particular New Age speaker, it's interesting to see another deceiver in the alternative media who criticizes Trump one day and then literally humps his leg the next. But at least he's being consistent now and just sticking with just humping Trump's leg all the time. Even if Trump triggers World War III, it's still religious. It's still Jesus working through Trump, blah, blah, blah. It was important for me to see and critical his praise of Teal Swan, that he actually went to her conference. I mean, that was just mind-blowing. It's like they're all being connected by the same archon or something. So that's really what people are missing. As people become super aware in general, people are choosing to let their awareness and non-local awareness, psychic abilities, end up in some dark portals. I mean, there are people out there that scream that there is no such thing as non-local awareness, i.e. I think about you, and then all of a sudden you're thinking about me, or something to that effect, or vice versa. You're thinking about me, and then all of a sudden I'm picking up on that, or just on energy in general. So we need to really refine it instead of deny it. And there's a way that we can access higher spiritual knowledge and teachings without falling into the trap that other people have, that have gotten into channeling, that have gotten into endorsing particular spirits, and some of them have ended up very deluded. So, of course, humankind for thousands of years has had various books. Mankind, womankind has been writing for countless years on this planet about reconnecting with Source. Now, this is a very threatening concept to religious folks that claim that they have the monopoly on connecting with Source. And I am feeling guided to direct your attention to the sun, because the sun is very much connected to Source and is a part of that. And there are people and forces of darkness in our world saying the sun doesn't exist, or only, man causes climate change, or only HAARP causes climate change. And it's like people don't really respect an individual who goes outside the grain. In fact, some people just add me and join me and, say they support my work really only to kind of try to steer the discussion somewhere else. And I always let those people know, hey, there's plenty of people that are just straight on the conspiracy kick 24/7, okay? Hang out with those guys. You're going to get a larger take on what's going on, because I don't believe that everything is a conspiracy. I believe that there are some things that are natural, that are moving, that are going on. And what I see is a lot of fear. I see a lot of fear from people that might have a lot to be afraid of, that obviously have some negative karma. Listen, I've already reached a place to where I don't believe that I need to be warning people about World War III. With Fourth Horse Rising, as primitive as the editing might be, without my own narration, I'm going to make a video later on in the future and continue to discuss it, but the type of energetic pull and type of sense of responsibility, that doesn't feel good at all. And I know there's some people out there that think that they're there to warn people of World War III, and they're not even doing a very good job of it, being that they're not really warning that it's staged and they're picking sides. Again, there's something to be said about those people calling what's happening biblical while they side with people that are openly using Antichrist symbolism and imagery. And we can identify those people pretty easily that are using satanic imagery, pentagrams, things like that. We could be discussing Donald Trump citing a document at a table, right, with some sort of a Baphomet satanic imagery behind him. And people will defend that. Oh, it's just more military symbolism. Who cares if it's also aligned with Satanism? We can also see someone say, this is biblical. This is biblical, folks. This is biblical. And their whole media career will be promoting Vladimir Putin talking points. Now, that's not the mainstream media talking. I've been warning of Russian agents in the alternative media for over 4, 5, 6 years. It also is what alienates me from a lot of people that want to believe that Russia's good, et cetera, et cetera. So it's important as we talk about the internet, and people are receiving information off the internet and trolling people back and forth or responding to trolls. We need to be responsible for what we're tapping into, for what we're aware of, right? So you need to ask yourself, are you looking for the ultimate answers to the universe? Are you reading a book right now? Are the videos that you're watching, are there any videos that you're watching in a series to where you're not just watching one video from a particular person, myself aside, but really trying to get an education in something? To not listen to those catchphrases of our culture. Can't teach a old dog new tricks. I mean, where did our culture come up with these low consciousness slogans? I mean, it's just beyond me, but it's very much a part of our matrix. Lower consciousness slogans that are viral. Listen, if you have the ability to tap into non-local awareness, and when someone looks at you, you turn around and go, look at me, or on the most basic level, then we need to take it higher. We need to take this higher, and we can't take it higher other than channeling beings that we don't know. We could just simply seek knowledge or answers to certain things. And whether you know it or not, we do create our own reality. And there's a part of us that may be, for example, I'm stuck until I get that starter fixed. I got it briefly going earlier, but I mean, it's definitely a starter issue. Now, there are ways in which we might be able to manifest certain things moving faster. There could also be a part of us connected with the Creator that may manifest certain challenges in order for us to, come down to a certain level. I'm thinking about, okay, what might be the reason with this? I could think of a few, but one of them is to come into this alignment or sense of, hey, just relax. It's just a car. It's just a car. It's just a car. Okay. When I can get the help to get to town to get another starter, which will probably run about $50. So some of those $5 donations that have come in that have added up, it's going to an actual starter. So thank you, supporters. But I mean, this isn't something to freak out about. We're not broken down in the ghetto. We're not broken down alongside the freeway. We're not broken down in town where I got to spend $300 to get a tow to bring the vehicle up here. Reminding me that once I'm actually able to afford the next add-on, I should be getting AAA. May take a little time to be able to afford that, but when I can do so, it's definitely important that I get AAA. So these are the things that I've been thinking about, right? Because I've definitely seen my own sensitivity grow to a certain point. So if we're leaving ourselves open to a certain degree, it's just like a computer. You got to put up some antivirus software in some cases. Technology can be hacked. Well, so can human consciousness because the way that we literally are connected with other things. So how do we take it higher? Okay, there's connecting with the Creator, the true Creator, having the intentions to do so regardless of the name that we call the Creator, although we will be skinned and burned alive by the religious folks that demand that the Creator be called a particular name. Not very spiritual. Then, of course, there is creating our reality in a mindful way, which a lot of people don't seem to talk about. We can't have anything that we want at any moment. But can our unconscious actions create problems for us by being unconscious? Can we create a negative reality by our words and deeds? Absolutely. So how do we create a better reality while staying out of the new age disinformation, but also acknowledging the spiritual truth? For new viewers, of course, and those that don't know, there is a difference between spiritual teachings and the new age. If you're labeling everything outside of your religion new age, you are deluded. That's not how reality works. It doesn't really revolve around your own faith. When we talk about new age deception, and there are others as well, we usually talk about those that claim that they are incarnated alien beings that are here on Earth and they possess the answers to the Earth's salvation. And they're usually there to promote faith of stranger danger aliens simply because they are outside of what we may perceive to be human intelligence. So that, in a nutshell, is alien disinformation. But being in the heart, discussing meditation, discussing the real history of mankind, womankind, where we're going, that's not New Age. That's just how things are.